give me one reason to believe that you're not a wolf reinterpreting the gospel to draw the flock away from what they'd already believed.
Because I would say that what I'm holding on to is what the apostles taught. And that's why
but of course, everyone says that, right?
Yeah, but it's interesting. You're like, well, I want to line up with myself with this father or this church father, when I want to line up my beliefs with what the apostles taught, what God's inspired word says. That's my authority.
Yes. And so we would agree the church fathers are fallible. Even when they're trying to interpret scripture, they can make mistakes, right? Is that fair to say?
Right. Yes, correct.
And even on important issues?
Yeah, they could teach things that are false. Like we even see things
could
the Galatian church taught by the apostles. Yeah, I can absolutely.
I mean, it just seems like you seem very aware of their fallibility and their interpretation of scripture, while thinking that you're just interpreting it neutrally and correctly. But your only reason for thinking that is that that's how it seems to you. But isn't that what every person thinks? That their read's the right one?
That's why we got to go to the text itself. That's what we should
Mark
be
16:60. You think it should be taken out of the Bible?
It's not in the Bible. Like if vast majority of scholars, and it's not in the earliest manuscripts we have in your English Bible, yes. And that's why there's a field of textual criticism which they determine, okay, so if you have, say, 1 John 5:7, is that supposed to be there? Is it not supposed to be there? Mark 16.
So if I'm getting you correctly, your argument isn't that Mark 16:16 disagrees with you. I didn't actually hear you make one argument that your belief is the same as what Jesus says in Mark 16:16. Your argument seems to be, and correct me if I'm getting you wrong, that Mark 16:16 both doesn't belong in the Bible and apparently is a false teaching that was added to the Bible super early on. Is that right?
So basically, it would be all we can do is base on the manuscripts that we have of Mark's gospel. The earliest manuscripts don't have it. Even Eusebius in his day, he said the vast majority of the manuscripts in his day does not contain the longer ending of Mark.
Right, but I'm not. I understand that. I understand the textual discrepancies. I'm asking you something else. Is it your position that Mark 16:16, the long form, is both false and not canonical and also false?
Yeah, it's not canonical, and is it false? Well, this is the thing, is that if it's not actually in the Bible, then it's not really even need to be dealt with. But I would say,
sure, it does. At the very least, a lot of people believe it. And so I just want to know, these are things that were purported to be said by Jesus. Someone wrote these down and said, Jesus said this. It sounds like, but I don't want to put words in your mouth. It sounds like you're saying this is not inspired. Jesus didn't really say this, and this teaching is correct.
Well,
where in the first millennium do you find anyone who shares? Because I guess one of the things that's worth stressing here, 2 Timothy 4, right? For the time is coming. So it's a future period when people will not endure sound teaching, but having itching ears, they will accumulate for themselves teachers to suit their own likings, and will turn away from listening to the truth and wander into myth. So if you can't show me that the original Christians believed what you believe, then you sound like the guy St. Paul's warning about in 2 Timothy. Now, to be clear, I don't mean just you. I mean everybody preaching the kind of easy believism that does not appear to be historic Christianity. And it appears, as you've said,